What's broken about American culture? We talk a lot about our broken politics on this channel, but in many ways our politics reflects our broken culture. You have deeper issues, and so we're going to do a tier list.
Yay. Look, politics are a part of culture. You could think about it that way.
Yeah, like our politics sort of springs from our culture. That's how I think about it.
Oh, we got our buddies in there. I can see already.
So, yeah,
Ted
let's see.
Kaczynski's in this?
Our number one favorite picture on this channel.
No, just the Trump and Epstein photos.
Trump and Epstein, yeah.
All right.
Okay. So this is American culture we're critiquing.
Yeah.
Problems with American culture.
Right.
Have you been to Canada? It's
Yeah,
basically America too.
I know. Okay.
We should be moving further.
It's a little more
Okay,
different than that.
All right. So moving to Singapore. All right. What do you want me to say? Moving someplace else.
No, I'm happy with Singapore.
Okay. How
Yeah,
about
let's
this?
do it.
Moving to North Korea. There you go.
There you
This
go.
is the S tier. This is
Well,
like
At least
like
that's different.
right. This is like man, oh man. This thing about American culture is so bad. I would rather live in North Korea.
Oof.
Okay.
I'm going to check myself into a death camp.
Okay, maybe I'll stick with Singapore. All right, moving to Singapore. All right, Singapore's not
If
bad.
there
Well,
are any that
at
are
first.
actually moved to North Korea level bad, we'll just mention that when we're discussing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but so okay. Here are my tiers. I find all of these things frustrating about American culture to varying degrees. And so, yeah, this is extremely, extremely frustrating. Makes you just want to leave and go someplace else. All the way down to no big deal or things that are actually secretly good about American culture. So let's do it. Right here. Thing number 1, subscription models.
I mean, yeah, I feel like this is somewhere between annoying and no big deal. I don't think this is that bad. It's not great.
Yeah. So subscription models, let's not get into the whole capitalism thing just yet. Let's just touch the edges of it.
Mm-hmm.
That within capitalism, subscription models make some sense for certain services, right?
Right.
Like if you get value over time for a service, it gets updated with new features, and those features provide the benefit that is worth the subscription, then that's a good case for a subscription model.
Right, but in America today, many businesses that don't meet those criteria are subscription models. They basically, the point is to sign you up, to give you some like weird discount looking thing to get you to sign up for a subscription to something that shouldn't be a subscription, and then to get you to forget about it, to not remember to unsubscribe, or to hope it gets lost in your credit card bill.
Do we rank it lower if we see it, like if it's less specifically American?
No, don't worry
No.
about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
all
obviously,
right,
it's a tier list, so we all
uh,
get to come up with our own, like,
Yeah, there's
arbitrary
only one
rules.
dimension, though. It's either up the tier list or down the tier list. We can't be doing this. Is it American or not? That's too confusing. Purely
Well,
how
I
annoying
think-
it is.
I only wanted to clarify that for this one because my favorite terrible subscription model example I have from recent memory is Volkswagen offered a subscription for speeds above like 80 miles per hour. Like your car wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to go fast.
I mean, I think Tesla does this. Doesn't Tesla do this? Like,
Does
I mean,
Tesla do it? Well, that's
I think
American.
yeah, I thought Tesla did something
In
like
my
this. where-
example, it was the BMW heated seat subscription. So you can have heated seats in your car while you're paying the subscription fee.
I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Wait, like they actually have that?
Yes.
God
Dude, the
damn
speed
it.
one is the one that sounds ludicrous to me, dude. Imagine you're in Jurassic Park, the T-Rex is chasing you, you're like, quick, sign on to the customer service portal and unlock some extra miles per hour for us.
That's
Okay.
literally a scene
Fatal.
from Cyberpunk. Like in the video game Cyberpunk, like there's a chase scene and you're on the back of someone's motorcycle trying to like go through the captchas to unlock a service of the motorcycle before you crash.
Beautiful. All right, so what we
Future
have
is
not
now.
discussed is how bad. So how bad is this?
It's not that bad. You don't have to subscribe to stuff, right? Like you could just not buy it. right? There's no
Yeah.
life. This isn't like, insulin isn't on a subscription model. Like, it kind of is, but it's not.
It kind of
really.
is. Sorry.
Kind of is.
You must be referring to health insurance.
But like,
health insurance, the subscription model is sort of like the life-saving medicine subscription, right? Like, I don't know. I think we can bump it up to annoying if we kind of factor in like the real ills of society that happen to be on a subscription model.
I'm gonna put it at annoying.
Right. I won't object. It is pretty annoying. I just don't think it's like it is. It is also no big deal. It's annoying, but no big deal is how I would rate it. So annoying is fine.
All right. So number 2, drug addiction.
Kind of awesome. No. Rage-inducing depends on the drug. Alcohol, certainly, sometimes.
It's
no
not
big
how
deal.
It's not how it makes them feel. It's how it makes you feel that this is a threat of American culture.
Right. Like,
You know what I will say? It definitely doesn't make me want to move to Singapore. Their punishments against drug addiction are pretty severe there.
So, I think that, like, I mean, certainly Trump uses the fentanyl opioid epidemic as a justification for a lot of his action against foreign countries and immigrants. Tens of millions of Americans, have a substance use disorder. 48 million in 2023.
Jeez. Yeah, I would say this is rage-inducing, but it's also like symptom more than it is like this is a symptom of other things in our culture more than it is like a
cause.
Yeah.
You don't think people? Okay.
I feel like the only one that doesn't fit this is annoying. It's rage-inducing. I mean, it's not necessarily about America or culture. It's sort of just makes me angry at the way our bodies work. It just sucks that like we have these sort of ways we can be manipulated chemically that ruin our lives.
Yeah. All right. Fair. Okay. Moving on. What is this one? This is okay. She is doing data entry. Not to be knocking too hard on data entry. The category is a lack of rewarding work.
This is definitely moving to Singapore level, dude.
Yeah.
It is really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely am like thinking about places I could go in the world where my work would be more rewarding. I don't know. But yeah, like I think that this is like a core problem with our culture for sure. Like that we seek validation and rewards, and so much of our society is set up to reward things that do not give us any satisfaction and line the pockets of incredibly wealthy people.
Plus, like, it means that any job where you actually like make a positive difference, they like try to exploit that to pay you less too. But yeah, this sucks a lot.
Damn. Yep. God damn. No, this is depressing. Gosh.
I mean, what did you
It's supposed to
expect,
be
dude?
cheerful.
No,
What
this
else?
is info hazard, dude.
Yeah, we're talking about everything wrong with with our culture. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm realizing
It's a pretty
this-
broad topic.
But things
We're getting
things are
closer.
dark. Oh yeah. I'm sure this one's
We're getting
cheerful. Which
closer.
one's this one? Let's see.
Maybe you should make Phil and I guess what each picture is before.
Yeah,
Is this
okay.
just depression?
I'm
Is
going to
this-
say mental illness more broadly.
No, this was supposed to be a lack of in-person interaction. This person is very lonely.
I think that's also moving to Singapore level.
Oh. How so?
It's a big enough deal that I could see moving away for it and like, feeling like that was the right choice.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I'm-
devastating.
Yeah.
When it's what's going on, it's devastating.
But I also don't suffer from it as bad because I have you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
it's
when they may
true.
not be
We
in
got
person.
buddies. So the thing about the top of this list being moving to Singapore, like if you feel so isolated and out of place in your environment, it can be very healthy for you to change your situation and do something drastic like move to Singapore or, Ecuador or France or whatever, like just change your situation dramatically, meet very new people. Like that can be very good for you. So I don't know, moving to Singapore level just because it's like a logical and good strategy to
Right.
fight this.
If that's what you're suffering from. All right.
Yeah.
a lack of in-person interaction, moving to Singapore. I mean, you guys also, like, do you think that this is really bad in the US? Sorry, I guess you're saying like when that's your problem, it's a devastating problem. Do you think that this problem is rampant in the US?
It's pretty bad. There's a lot of lonely people in the U.S.
It's those stats that Mark Zuckerberg likes to trot out, right? Like about how we've had like fewer close friends over time. People say they have few close friends, and the vast majority of people wish they had more friends. Like there is some basis to that, and it is somewhat American.
I think this is an interesting one. I mean, at the end, whatever, spoiler, I'm going to ask you guys to talk about, to pick one of these, to talk about, how can you cope with this? Maybe short of moving to Singapore, what can you do, or what can people do if they're struggling with these issues? Because, or like to change the culture, to change themselves because they're a piece of our culture. Anyway, so this one to me is tempting in that category. Okay.
Well, I'm already planning my trip. I'm gonna get some of those kind of coconut milk noodles and some buns, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
All right. Here's one: toxic empathy. Now,
empathy.
Are you saying the problem is people who think empathy is toxic, or you actually think that the U.S. has toxic empathy?
The cultural problem that is posited, or that is labeled toxic empathy. I mean, there's sort of a couple sides of it. I think there's one is just like it's used as a political sort of accusation against the left, how progressives exploit Christian compassion. But I think also is actually kind of a thing, like the idea that you can be too empathetic, like that if you don't hold people accountable, you allow yourself to be hurt by other people's emotions and other people's issues, right? I think those are kind of some examples, right? Like, it's one thing to say like, oh man, that guy's like, homeless. Like, I feel bad that he's going through that. It's another thing to like you yourself feel so bad about that like you make big and unjustified changes in your own life, right? Just out of like shame and misery, like out of this empathy that has poisoned you, basically ruining your life because of how you think someone else feels.
Okay, so I think this definitely goes in kind of awesome, like whatever the opposite of the top of this is, because I think that is kind of like a twofold thing, right? It's like we don't actually do these crazy things to like negatively impact our lives. With like people, it is a good thing when people have empathy, and people usually barely do anything when it comes to like helping people, and it is a great thing when they do actually change their lives somewhat to help people. So I think we need more empathy and more people acting on their empathy. I think we have the opposite problem that is posited here.
There we go. Danny, any?
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I don't think America is a particularly empathetic culture. And it would be awesome if people were more empathetic.
All right, cool. Next one up: sexual abuse with impunity.
I don't think this is American necessarily. This is more human nature, unfortunately.
No, I think the impunity part is American. I mean, we're looking, okay. I mean, we're looking at Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein here. I mean, is the fact that we have a pedophile as our president a big deal? I would say this is moving to Singapore level big deal.
Yeah,
yes,
totally. But it may not be better there, because this is a human nature thing. Powerful people are going to do fucked up shit and probably get away with it because they're powerful. Like another big Epstein client was Prince Andrew, right? He's not American.
So
he got away with it.
I actually, even though I picked Epstein and Donald Trump for the picture of this, I think that this problem is not, I didn't really mean it just about like super powerful people. There was a Me Too movement where, just like a very popular letting loose of this pent up frustration that women have about basically being sexually abused with impunity all the time. whatever, something like 30% of women reported being assaulted.
We're getting into three men discuss sexism territory here. Dangerous territory to be in.
Okay,
we can roundly condemn it safely.
right. We're not just going to be like, no big deal.
No, I don't know. Like,
Well, the problem is, like, way too many people do say it is no big deal, dude. 46% of Republicans would support Trump if he's in the Epstein files.
Being in the Epstein files, what the hell does that even mean? Like, what do we know about him? He's obviously in the Epstein files. Like,
I think
he went on his plane.
No, like he is in currently released Epstein flight logs. Like that. Like that's they 40% would support him because they already do.
Right.
Like,
and if there was any evidence that he had actually like slept with an underage girl, like then there's a lot of incentive to leak that stuff, right? Like, I don't think that there's just like smoking gun evidence that Trump did pedophile stuff with Epstein.
So I would rate this. Okay, so I would rate this problem as very bad, but not uniquely American. Like, this happens everywhere. Powerful people get away with bad shit.
No, but yeah, okay.
A tale as old as time, literally.
Certainly rage-inducing.
All right. So this one, very different from this guy. This is self-pity.
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 Woe is me, for I live in America with these cultural problems.
No. That's okay, got it.
Well, potentially, that could be one of the things you are pitying about yourself.
No, yeah, I don't think I'm like feeling a sense of self-pity over this. I think I'm whatever. Anyway. But, talking about a problem is different than feeling self-pity.
You don't feel that way? I mean, you compiled a list of problems with American culture. You don't feel some sense of, like, self-pity, like, woe is me for having to deal with all these problems?
No, not at all. So, look, I mean, we do a podcast. I put this list together to talk about it. And at the end, I'm planning on us talking about what we can do about it, right? Self-pity is not just believing that there's a problem. Self-pity is also seeing yourself as powerless, framing yourself in the situation as the thing being acted upon, not the thing that actually can take action. So I don't think I suffer from self-pity. But
yeah, I don't think this is a very American thing, right? I would put this in no big deal. I don't think we're worse in America at this than other people, right? Do you? Trump can kind of be like this a lot, like, oh, poor me. Oh, everyone's against me. But like most people
I can't believe I didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know. This is annoying. I mean, it definitely prevents some people from acting and improving their surroundings. And like,
but do you feel that there's a big strand of this in American culture? I feel like we're almost too much the opposite, if anything. We never see ourselves as powerless, even when we probably like realistically are. Feel much more responsible for things happening than we actually are.
I think people often feel powerless. I feel like many people feel like the system is rigged and there's nothing they can do.
Right. I think they lash out and make very bad decisions based off of that feeling.
Yeah. So where would you put it? I would put it no big deal. How about you, Phil and David? Where would you put this one?
I think it's good and annoying.
I think it's good and annoying. Yeah. Agreed.
I think it is both good and annoying.
All right. Hyperpartisanship.
This is definitely moving to Singapore level, I think.
Yeah, this is, I mean...
Everything is so politicized these days, it's exhausting, dude.
My classic line on this, I was like, this is a country that's literally had a civil war. We've technically been more divided, but it sure doesn't feel like that a lot of the time. Yeah. I don't know. Just living in different realities.
It is amazing. I saw Mike Johnson say that the planned protests next week are the like Hate America protests. Like, can you believe it? They're planning some Hate America protests. So you mean the No Kings protest? God, asshole. Anyway,
No Kings. Is like that he has a fundamentally different understanding of the Revolutionary War. He's probably just trying to deflect from those Grindr logs that got released recently.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm with you, Dan, that, I mean, it's not just that it is divided. I think like that there's a lot of whatever energy going towards actively trying to divide us. And this is maybe like as fundamental of a problem as we have.
Yeah, I would probably like. I think at the end we can each pick our biggest problem. I think this would be mine. It'd be hard to top this. I think as like
Yeah.
as far as big problems in American culture.
I'll say
well-
this. I'll pick a different one.
All right. So here we go. Phone addiction.
Yeah, definitely worse than hyperpartisanship.
Yeah, I think rage-inducing is fine for this one. I don't like this.
Rage-inducing for but like okay, but do you think this? Okay, so right next to it in rage-inducing, we have like basically like the drug crisis in America and high-profile pedophiles.
Well, so let's compare phone addiction to drug addiction for a minute. How much like wasted human potential has resulted from phone addiction?
A lot.
They overlap with capitalism, don't they? These two addictions, like the problem with these two commodities doesn't necessarily all come from the thing itself, but the minds behind them. Like the people trying to make money off of these things are more of the problem than the thing itself.
Got it. So it's
like
a symptom.
The fact that we've dedicated like so much energy and like and brain power to how to get people to look at their phone longer is a problem for humanity. Like we could be doing better things with those top minds.
All right. Let me hit you with a thought that might help you raise it back up to rage-inducing, which is this thing causes many of the other problems we're talking about here, right? Lack of in-person
Anxiety.
interaction, mental illness, like depression,
Hyperpartisanship,
like all of like many of these are kind of rooted in this phone addiction, I think.
Mm.
You know, probably most people consume their like drip feed of like political shit to make you angry on their phone, right?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, this is this is both the cause of a lot of these problems and this podcast. Like, this is a root cause of quite a few things.
Yeah, I had another image that I forgot to include this time, which was just our AI slop thumbnail from last week's news of the week. And AI slop or AI slop / this podcast was going to be the other image. Anyway, I think our podcast is kind of awesome. All right.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
And this one is goldfish. No, sorry. This is short-term thinking. Another.
Got to be top 2. It's more than merely annoying. I think we
got
got
a lot of the worst decisions getting made currently are because of short-term thinking. This is like a political problem.
I think it's more than that. Like even companies like are thinking so short-term that, you know, things don't work out in the long term a lot of the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Just pump.
But I mean, it's only a problem when people in power do it, basically.
Yeah, but you know, think of the classic, like the corporation fires a bunch of people to make the bottom line look better for a few quarters, and then like after a few quarters, all the missing people start to weigh on them. And they have to hire more people, you know, who can't do the job as well because they don't have the knowledge. I think this is rage-inducing or moving to Beijing.
Moving to Beijing.
Yeah.
It makes you want a 5-year plan. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. They are doing a much better job of long-term thinking in China than we are in the U.S. these days, I would say.
I mean, like Singapore is also like a pretty good example of like long-term planning.
I have less Singapore knowledge.
Well, anyways, but yeah, Beijing
All right,
is
so
a good
was that
example.
I would say top tier
rage-inducing.
problem or rage-inducing. I would accept.
Rage-inducing. I don't know.
Rage-inducing? Phil doesn't like to be overdramatic.
Yeah.
All right. Violence in media.
I would
I'm
say
gonna
no big
put
deal
it
or kind of awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It rules. It's fun to watch things blow up. The problem is overstated if stated at all.
Plus, like, yeah, I don't buy the like people see it in movies and then they act it out in real life. So I think this is like, yeah, it doesn't affect anybody that bad. If you don't like violent media, you don't watch it. You know. Yeah,
children will recreate things they see in media, but not often replicate. They will mostly recreate it, their own sort of play art versions of the things they see in art.
Also,
So,
if it's super violent, don't let your kids watch it.
That too.
I mean, I'm sure you guys never watched anything that your parents didn't explicitly give you permission to watch. So you don't think
Well, that's
like,
why I'm such a homicidal maniac today. I mean,
Hey,
I
when we
don't
grew up,
think-
dude, Phil was always allowed to watch all the movies. He got to watch Jurassic Park so early, dude. I was so jealous for such a long time.
Well, sure, but I got to watch, like, my mom, like, cut together a VHS where, like, it cut out, like, all the blood and gore so I could just see the dinosaurs.
Dude, that's awesome. What a cool mom.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Shout out to Phil's mom if she's watching this.
I had a PG VHS of Jurassic Park. It was great.
all right, violence.
Do
in
you have a
media,
counter argument
no
here,
big deal.
David? Do you see it as this more than a big deal?
Well, I definitely don't think it's kind of awesome. Let's see.
Yeah, so when you watch Fight Club and they're having all those fights, you're like, oh, this isn't awesome at all. When you watch Jurassic
think
Park and the
it's-
dinosaurs are eating each other, you are like, this is awesome.
No, I don't think I ever really was like that. I mean, I thought that like the bullet dodging in the Matrix was awesome,
Yeah.
but that's pretty much the only like. I mean, I thought the Born Identity was awesome.
Yeah, see? So
Oh,
you-
that's pretty visceral violence right there.
Right.
it shakes the
right,
whole
but-
camera, dude.
Yeah, but or even like Saving Private Ryan opening scene. I thought, but
That's incredibly graphic.
right, yeah, of course, but also like so actually I think at least in the last two, the whole point of those was that they were sort of like hyper realistic for the time, and like that was kind of the statement being made by those scenes. And whereas the Matrix was like like a very stylized kind of I don't know, sort of like a Bruce Lee movie or something.
So I'm hearing kind of awesome here, dude. You haven't
yeah,
said
yeah.
anything bad about it.
Got it.
I think what you're trying to distinguish is that violence for its own sake in media is not awesome, but you like some things that are violent. You like,
Yeah, like-
good
right.
art with violence in it.
Yeah, like that was like my full. That was to me like my full argument for like kind of awesome. Now let me argue against that. It just seems like as a thing to be paying lots of attention to, or thinking about a lot, or fixating on. It just seems a little bit deranged. I'm not saying that I like can show I haven't looked at studies of whether any violence is actually correlated to this. America seems to be a pretty gun violence heavy place, but might have nothing to do with it.
I like, in terms of percentage, don't you think that the violence in our media has gone down, at least since the 80s?
I would
I
say it's
don't
kind of
know.
been trending down. There's been more non-violent big things, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
Case so yeah, I'm kind of happy to have it at no big deal, but like to me like it seems like a little bit of definitely like a very fuzzy thing for me, like that is against it, and it's more just like about how much of it there is. I find it really exhausting to see posters with people with guns. It's just like why would we exert our mental energy on this? Like, why is this even thought of as entertaining? Like, I don't find most violence entertaining. Like, I gave you the 3 examples that I find entertaining.
I mean, I think it's like, people are fascinated with death because we all have to die. So they want to
Right, but these aren't reflections
engage
on
with
death.
it in a safe way. You don't think so? I mean, to some extent.
Just John Wick. I don't. Okay, I haven't seen John Wick. I don't know. I'm just somehow thinking of Keanu Reeves and with violence, but I don't know. Like,
This has been media criticism with David.
it has. All right, let's move on. That's fine. I'm happy with no big deal. I have a weird bad feeling about it. All right, cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Well,
Kinda
this is
awesome,
the
dude.
top problem in this country. Absolutely.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, how about this, dude? When people do bad stuff, should we be forced to keep paying attention to them? Because if you say no, then you're in favor of cancel culture.
Wait, but you're not forced to do that. Nobody's arguing that you should be forced to pay attention.
I don't know, dude. People kind of are, right? Like, that's what you're
mm-hmm.
arguing if you can't say that society can't cancel people, right? So say society did the right thing with, like, Chris Brown after he beat the shit out of Rihanna and everyone stopped paying attention to him and giving him money, right? Like, that would be the right thing to do, in my opinion. And also, that's cancel culture, right? So like
Uh,
you're
yeah.
saying that like people who are famous can never become unfamous if they do something bad. Otherwise you're in favor of cancel culture, right?
Yeah.
What actually happens is not like people are not banished from society. Like people get fired from jobs, people lose access to the platform that they use to get their message out there. I don't know what happened to Chris Brown when he like got into that domestic violence. Did he get dropped from his label? Did he like what actually happened to him? He
Venues stop hosting him on tours.
Seemingly no, right? He's just as successful as he's ever been. He's still beating the crap out of people. He got accused of assault again this year.
I didn't know about that. So you're saying he should have had faced more economic consequences?
He should have been canceled, and he wasn't. Right?
I mean, he probably should have been like incarcerated, right? Like for assault, like basically everything that's used as a political cudgel, its meanings has been twisted. Like one thing I conflate with this is like corporate whatever, what's the word, like when you
censorship.
No, virtue signaling, right? Like kind of
corporate virtue signaling.
Yeah, basically corporate virtue signaling, or even, I mean, even this like the phenomenon of the internet mob all going virtue signaling and, you know, feigning and exaggerating their outrage, even over like little things, you know, not assaults, you know, like violent criminal behavior, but like over, you know, some political statement that was taken out of context, right?
Sure. I mean, I agree it can be taken too far, but I think in the U.S., people who get canceled mostly tend to deserve it, right?
Okay, here's my pitch for annoying, not kind of awesome. This sort of online outrage machine often takes the place of actual consequences. Like people who are outraged at a person for some heinous act, you know, domestic abuse or sexual assault, whatever, that will devote their time to harassing that person online rather than try to enact some real world consequences, like,
but I feel like
go
that's
file a lawsuit.
Then the problem is
something.
slacktivism, not cancel culture, right?
Well, I mean, I think they're kind of one and the same.
I think they can be, but I don't think they are necessarily, like, definitionally.
All right. So cancel culture is this, like, it's somewhat ill-defined. I mean, it means a couple things that are all of varying levels of annoyance and terribleness.
Yeah, it's a mushy term.
Yeah.
And that aspect of it is also annoying.
But like people should get kicked out of the zeitgeist when they do shitty things, right?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Hypersexualization.
Just doesn't seem to work like that. I don't know. Like our current version of cancel culture doesn't do the thing that you would like it to do.
Yeah, this one is hypersexualization. That's because Danny's a sex symbol. He's been like, riding high off this since middle school, really.
Someone else, David, you pitch this. Where do you think this goes?
You lead in. You're always making us talk first. You talk first.
All right, let me slap this one down in rage-inducing.
Yeah? You find this rage-inducing?
I find this rage-inducing.
Up there with unpunished sexual assault and phone addiction.
I was looking up a stat that it's, you know, when you like remember some stat and you're like, man, I must have made that up. Or like whoever told me that was like definitely making it up. The stat that I was thinking of was that a third of internet traffic is porn. Which is approximately correct. Okay, it's video streaming. So obviously that's different than saying like that the third of what people do on the internet is porn. It's just that, you know, whatever, filling in a spreadsheet doesn't take up as much bandwidth. But people spend a lot of time consuming porn.
I mean, to be fair, the internet is not a one-to-one match for culture, right?
Yeah.
Like one-third of the internet being porn doesn't mean all of society is hypersexualized by itself. Although I would agree that our society is pretty hypersexualized.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, when I wasn't, so with this one earlier, I wasn't really trying to, with the sexual abuse with impunity, I wasn't really talking about just rich and powerful. I was talking about widespread sexual abuse. And I think that widespread sexual abuse is largely a consequence of hypersexualization.
Counterpoint, it happened all the way through history.
I feel like something that gets taken for granted in this discussion of hypersexualization is that it's hypersexualization of very specific body types.
Like mine, as we were discussing.
Yeah. If we were just talking about like all regular schmegular people as just like incredibly sexual beings, I don't know. I don't think that's that bad. I think it's humanizing. I think that's great. But like we have these body standards and these unrealistic expectations of sex that come from things like pornography, and that's kind of a problem.
Let me bring up another angle to this, which is like, I think a big reason for this is the sex sells, right? So capitalism sexualizes a lot of things in order to make them more exciting to sell them to you.
Yeah. So another consequence of this, I think, is that relationships are. I don't think this is unrelated to how like romantic relationships are not doing very well in America right now. Like,
three married men
lots of
talk
single-
about loneliness.
Right. Well,
Yeah, sorry.
okay,
Yeah, I know.
we also
Sorry.
talked about drug addiction.
Yeah.
Not
All right.
suffering from that either.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Right. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think like lots of people are delaying marriage, not having kids, stuff like that. Like I'm not necessarily of the opinion that a shrinking population is a problem in itself, but I think it is just in some ways it's a symptom of a few problems, and one is that we have all these weird expectations from our partners, these very unrealistic expectations. And anyway, I think hypersexualization in media and, like you're saying, in advertising, I think it's contributing to this significantly.
Personally, I would put this on annoying. I don't think mostly because I don't think it's as bad as the problems we put in rage-inducing.
Fair
but
enough.
I could see it being rage-inducing. It wouldn't upset me if it were in that tier.
It wouldn't induce rage for it to be rage-inducing.
Exactly. You got it.
All right.
What's our next tier? Some ladies waving.
All right. No, I'm going to skip that one for now. This one is consumerism.
It's got to be in the top 2 for sure. This is a big bad one, right?
And that's a biggie.
It's another one of those ones where a lot of the problems that are also on this list are caused by this one, I think.
Okay, why don't you elaborate?
So phone addiction is a pretty obvious link. Lack of in-person interaction is like another pretty obvious link, I think. We spend our time buying Labubus instead of heading down to the pool hall.
God, I really need to find out what Labubus are. Should that have been an item on this? Lububu? These are 3.
I mean, it should have been the thumbnail.
I mean, I'm impressed that you have kids and you don't know what this is, right? It is a kids thing, I thought.
Okay, I'll make sure.
It's
never
just
just
an
it's
inattentive parent.
it's the
it's like
the
Beanie
Furby
Baby.
of this year, the Beanie Baby of this year, the
Yeah,
fidget spinner of the
yeah.
year, the current
Okay.
It's
consumer
just a trend toy.
All right.
They look
Yeah, I mean,
like little freaks.
Violence in media also caused by this,
so how so?
Sort of.
Yeah, because they sell
You
like
consume
movies
media.
that are like it's way easier to create stakes in a story by introducing violence, right? Like people intuitively understand like this guy wants
It's
to not
life
get
and
shot.
death.
Yeah, it's life and death. It's a big deal, but like it's way harder
I
to
don't-
create emotional stakes that are that heavy because you have to write compelling characters, etc. Put them in interesting situations, not just. Sorry, go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, consumerism is different than anything that you would present to the public. Like Beowulf is violent, right? It's not a consumer product.
No,
You
I mean it was
it's
sort
a
of
traveling skald goes town to town and tells stories, and then you pay them or whatever. But like it's not the same as modern consumerism. And like also violence in media would be there without consumerism at all. Like we would have violence in our stories. I know this because we made like videos as kids with violence in them. We made our own little stories and we weren't selling it to anyone. It wasn't for consumption other than ourselves.
I wasn't saying there would be no violence,
All right,
but
so
I think
Phil,
there would be less.
So Phil, why don't you
Consumerism?
talk about some consequences of consumerism that stand out to you?
Well,
Forget
I
connections to the
don't
other
know. I
things in
mean,
the chart.
I'm in kind of a weird place with this one because I saw some stat. Basically, the only companies that were growing over the course of the year were investment companies and AI companies, and basically every company in America that makes things went down in price, but like the total value of the stock market went up. So consumerism as an ill in society and all the companies involved with that don't matter anymore. And the only thing that matters in the market is just the rich passing money around to each other, and they could like leave us to die in a ditch and it wouldn't affect their pocketbooks.
Damn.
But maybe that just means that people were over betting on consumerism. They thought it would be totally consuming American society, but it's only mostly consuming it. Like that could also lead to that stock movement.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think that I think hyper financialization is a bigger problem than consumerism.
Okay, well, that's not what we're talking about. All right, fine.
I got to put my foot down. This
can't-
has to be at least annoying, I think. I don't think we
I
can
think
say
this is
consumerism
annoying.
is no big deal.
This is certainly annoying. I think that placing value on the consumption of goods is a big problem in our society.
Right, I mean,
put it back up to rage inducing. Like it really is a problem. Like it destroys the environment. It takes away the joy in our lives that would otherwise be dedicated to like our families and friends and stuff like that. Like it's
right. I mean, we spend more time
a false
working.
promise of happiness.
Right, we spend more time working to make money to buy things that don't make us happy. And so we just end up wasting time and hurting the environment. And Americans are struggling financially. I mean, obviously, bad employment, not getting a proportionate share of economic growth. These are core reasons. But short-term thinking meets consumerism, I think, is another important input into this sort of irresponsible financial decisions that are made one small purchase at a time.
All right. What do we got next?
Rage-inducing. Celebrity or celebrity culture. This is Katy Perry with Hillary Clinton. Here, let me put this in annoying, or should I put it in rage-inducing?
I think it's more annoying, dude. I don't know. It feels unfair to put it next to the other things in rage-inducing.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
But here's my, I guess, let me describe what annoys me so much about this. I think we find things that are familiar, make us comfortable, and we sort of like them. And it's like, that's why you'll hum along with a pop song from when you were a kid, even if you, like, when you pause and think about it, you're like, this song sucks. Like, I don't like this song. It's familiar and sort of puts you at ease. This is just being used to abuse us. It's used to sell us things.
This belongs in annoying. I have a bulletproof argument at the beginning. You said, let me describe what annoys me about this, not what enrages me about this.
Done.
QED.
All right. Greed.
Moving to Singapore.
I heard that greed is good, so I guess it must be in kind of awesome.
Yeah, greed is good. That's what they say.
No.
I mean, as a fundamental American problem, this has to be in moving to Singapore level. This is just like as American as bankrupting grandma's apple pie company.
Yeah. I feel like we could talk about this for a long time, but we kind of don't even need to.
Well,
yeah.
How about we talk about everyday greed? It's easy to see the damage done by industrial scale greed and like the really spectacular greedy people. As a cultural matter, though, I'm kind of curious, like, what do you guys think of like greed from like average guy on the street?
Yeah, I think Americans are kind of greedier than they should be, probably.
Mm-hmm. We work more hours compared to other places in the world. I think we do place the value of just capital and money as a society higher than people in other countries. I think one of the main reasons why greed is such a problem is because it's so involved in our politics, things that otherwise wouldn't get impacted by just people seeking out their fortunes, like important things that we all need, like healthcare and the national defense, just corrupted to the core because of all these greedy people abusing the systems that are supposed to work for everybody to work for their own personal gain.
Plus, I think American culture sort of uniquely has this thread running through it of like, you should make a lot of money and buy a lot of stuff. for your huge giant family in your suburban house.
I have a couple here that are talking about media, right? And I think that greed in media is something that stands out to me. It's like almost every TV show is just like how being bad is good, right? It's like almost every show the heroes are greedy assholes. Like I can't stand it. Very frustrating.
I don't think all our protagonists are
What?
Gordon Gekko. I think I'm going to push back a little bit on that.
All right. Well, did you watch all 25 seasons of Game of Thrones?
There's only 8 seasons. I have watched them all, dude. I'm a total hipster
Right.
about Game of Thrones, so I was into it before it was cool.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I
wouldn't
didn't
even
come
say
prepared.
greed is the main problem of like basically any of the main characters of Game of Thrones. I think that they fixate on different things.
I do think there are greedy characters, but they're generally portrayed as bad rather than as heroes.
Maybe Tywin, I think.
Tywin,
his main
Littlefinger.
problem is greed.
I mean, he wants power. He's greedy for power, I guess.
Yeah,
more
but
than
it's
money,
like it's sort of like a psychosexual thing for him. It's a little different than Tywin's motivations.
The thing is,
Anyways.
even when characters are portrayed as the bad guys, it's like it feels like as many movies have anti-heroes as heroes, right? It's like, I don't know, the like Wolf of Wall Street, for example. Like he's a bad guy, but he's the good guy, right? Like the whole thing is basically lionizing his outrageous greed. It's like, wow, look at this like insane lifestyle he got to live. Man, he was really living it up. Like, isn't that awesome, right? Like that's basically like the summary of many TV shows.
somewhat
you guys
fair,
haven't
I would
seen
say. I actually have not seen Wolf of Wall Street, but
No, I don't
think
even
that
mean
is a
just that.
critique that is leveled against that movie. I disagree with that critique, but I know many people do agree with you.
Breaking Bad, or like, I don't know, The Sopranos, or everything. like I don't know. Let me know
So
in a
just
week.
anti-heroes in general.
Yeah, kind
Is-
of. Yeah, anti-heroes.
well,
Right, it's
'cause
like-
it does not work out for Tony Soprano, dude. Being greedy, like he's not a happy guy.
So yeah. All right.
I agree. It is a little bit of a pervasive stink, but I think it's more comes from culture into media rather than from media into culture.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Now this one, I mean, obviously is a no-brainer. Tipping.
I think this is
Tipping.
annoying.
This is something you could conceivably escape by moving out of the country.
I don't think I would though. It's not that bad.
I think this is annoying.
Yeah. Let annoying is good.
I think we can just leave it there. And yeah,
All right, here we are. We reached the end.
All right,
It's
we
been a
did it.
journey. Hopefully, our viewers and listeners are still with us.
All right, pick one. Give me a take. How can we make a change to some of these issues in our own lives?
All right, if I were a kid and this were a school assignment, I would pick tipping, and the solution is ban tipping. Boom.
No, ban tip. No, but ban. No, that's exactly not what I mean. So you can pick tipping. That part is good.
But how can you
right?
like?
How can I personally?
Fight
Yeah,
tipping.
I'll start a political campaign to ban tipping.
But I mean non-political. And like, so if you're gonna say like my solution is to never tip, like, okay, yeah, man.
I'm Mr. Pink and
that's your
Reservoir
solution.
Dogs. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna pick social isolation, and I'm gonna start breaking into people's houses, making friends.
Hi, I'm Phil.
All right.
Gaboro!
So for my real
Is that a
pick,
gun?
for my real pick, I would choose hyper partisanship, dude, and I would try and start a cultural movement that's Americans first rather than America first, and that's like trying to push the idea that we're not Democrats first or Republicans first. We're all Americans. You should want the best for everybody in the country, even if they're on the other side. And I think that's kind of what we lost, like when the Cold War happened back then. We had the Russians to keep us together, but now we're sort of in that post-Punic War Roman state where we have no big geopolitical rival, and we're just kind of, it's easier to focus on enemies nearby. I would rather get us like us versus poverty.
All right, here, let me pick one. The lack of satisfying work.
I'm gonna go to people's offices and satisfy them at work. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Go.
That was excellent idea, Phil. No, I mean mine was okay. So there's your job. So I guess what it is set your expectations for what you are going to get out of your job. That your job is not supposed to be all that fulfilling. You know, set boundaries there, and then focus your energy on doing work. There is constructive, productive work to be done at home with people. You know, if you can improve your situation. Like, I promise something in your apartment is broken or whatever, something in your house is broken. You can fix it, and you can do things that are productive and rewarding for the people who matter most.
Yeah, cool.
We'll leave it to our viewers. Please leave a comment. Let us know what are the cultural issues that you're struggling with, and what are your life hacks that you can share. Until then, have a great week. See you next time.